Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am making some more random things for my kid to play with. He always gets really excited when I do these videos, so I decided to do another one today. I'm making some kinetic sand, some blocks, and a DIY storm cloud. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Definitely not the first person to ever attempt making DIY kinetic sand on the internet, and it's actually harder than it looks. I bought some for my son for Christmas, but I wanted to attempt making it, so I started with a half of a cup of cornstarch, a third of a cup of dish soap, and 1 tablespoon of water, and I mixed that together until it created a paste, and then I slowly added sand in there. Now you can add some food coloring to the cornstarch and dish soap mixture, but I tried a few different variations of this, and yeah, the ones with food coloring just get so messy and all over your hands, so I decided to avoid that altogether. But the dish soap did create a little bit of a kind of baby powder blue color. As I added in the sand, the color got a little grosser and grosser as I went along, but this ended up turning out pretty cool. I would say it's a combination between like a Play-Doh and kinetic sand. The kinetic sand that you get from the store has this kind of like, it falls through your hands. It has this really, really cool, unique texture, and I tried 3 or 4 versions of making this, and this was the closest to that, but still not 100% like the ones you can get in the store. If you want to try this out with your kids, it's still really fun. You can make all sorts of different shapes, and you can also kind of slice it and have a lot of fun with it. So that's what I did here. It's a little bit messy, not too messy, but a little bit, so I like to do it over a paper bag. But yeah. Next, I'm making some color pattern blocks. So for this, it's pretty easy. You just want some non-toxic paint and some wooden blocks. You can find that at Michael's, and this is a fun one. You can include your kids in this craft. I am painting each side of the blocks diagonally. As you can see here, I'm starting with blue, and then I'm going to do green. I decided to do orange and yellow. And basically, the way that you do this is that you paint all of them every side, and then I'm doing it diagonally, and then you can create shapes when it's finished. So I didn't do this perfect because, you know, this is a toy for a 3-year-old. So I figured, you know, I didn't need to spend hours and hours getting it perfect. And also he helped me out with some of them. So some of them are a little bit messier than others. So I love experimenting with crafts like this because my son usually sits and watches while I do it and gets all excited, and I gave him his own little paintbrush and a portion of the paper so he could mess around with the paint, and also he helped me paint some of the blocks. So some of the blocks have some like little spludges on it or whatever you call it, but hey, these do not need to be perfect because the whole point of this was to have fun, be creative, and make a little craft. So I let these dry overnight, and he kept asking me if he could play with them all day, and I told him that we should just make sure that they dried completely overnight and then he could play with them first thing in the morning. So first thing in the morning when he woke up, he didn't even get out of his pajamas. I didn't brush his hair. First thing he wanted to do was go and play with the blocks. So once these finished drying completely, we messed around with making different shapes and different patterns with them, and then he just played with them and stacked them up and knocked them over and had a good time with them. So you can do these black and white, you can do them color, but you just want to paint each side a different color, and then you can create a fun little pattern with them like these. So this next one is really fun. This is a DIY storm cloud light. It's pretty easy to make. I'm starting with 3 white lanterns. You can buy these in sets of 3 at either Target or Michael's. They're really affordable, not very expensive at all. I'm taking my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to hot glue gun some batting all the way around them. You do not have to be perfect with this because clouds are not perfect. So at first I was like, oh my word, I'm being so sloppy. This is not going to look good. But then in the end, it looked perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That takes a little bit of time, but yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue gun all the way around each of the white lanterns. Next, you're going to want a wooden dowel about 3.5 to 4 feet long, and then some fishing line. We happen to have a lot of fishing line around here because my husband likes to fish. So I'm just looping the fishing line through the metal part of the lantern. I'm bringing it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and triple knot it. Now, I made sure to measure the fishing line so that when I do hang it, all of the lanterns hang evenly. So I went ahead and hung those all on and checked it out. Looking pretty good. So next I have to feed the lights through the bottom. I got these blue LED lights online, and basically I'm going to put them inside of the lantern and have a few little strands coming out so that it looks like it's raining. Now, if you have younger children and you're concerned that it might be a choking hazard, which is definitely something to consider and think about, you can just go ahead and put the lights completely inside the lanterns and not have any rain coming out. But that is totally up to you. Also, depending on how high you hang it, if you're concerned that your child might be able to reach it, those are a few things to keep in mind. But this is how it turned out. You can either hang it on a few different hooks. For me, I just hung it above the window. I had some space where I could hang it very, very easily. And yeah, I like to be pretty present when my son's playing around this. He wasn't able to touch it or reach it, but I definitely wanted to make sure I was around when he was playing with this. It is really fun, and it looks really cool, and it definitely looks really cool in the day, but it looks even cooler at night. So if you try this out, be sure to send pictures on either Instagram or Twitter. I'd love to see how yours turns out, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you like my channel, please be sure to subscribe. Check out my last 2 videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.